The world doesn't reward your intentions. It rewards your strategy.
And if you're feeling tired right now, maybe lost or just unmotivated, it's probably because you're working with a flawed map. You've been, pouring energy into fights you didn't need to fight.
Believing effort alone gets you there.
Exactly. Believing hard work is the only answer.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at the, let's say, ruthless but really honest truths of power, how human interaction actually works, based on sources that kind of strip away all the comforting illusions.
Yeah, our mission isn't really comfort today, it's clarity. We're digging into the real architecture of strategic control.
We're going to give you those truths maybe nobody else wants to say out loud, the kind designed to shift knowledge into, well, immediate action.
Right. By the end of this, you won't be second-guessing your effort. You'll be questioning your entire approach. The idea is you leave with the clarity, the strength, to stop just reacting all the time.
And start directing. Okay, let's dive in. First core demand, mastering your inner landscape. And the absolute foundation of that, your reputation.
Think about it. Your reputation is probably your most valuable asset. It's like a fortress. Keeps you safe.
The fragile.
Oh, incredibly. If it slips, even for a moment, the sources are clear. Attacks will come from everywhere. So making that reputation solid, unassailable, it's not vanity, it's strategy. Pure necessity.
And one of the best ways to defend and wield this fortress is through silence. Controlled silence. It's kind of stunning, isn't it? The more you talk to impress people.
The less important you see. Exactly.
Yeah.
When you want to project authority, the rule is say less than necessary.
Why does that work?
Well, powerful people, they impress, they intimidate, often by saying very little. The more you chatter, the more likely you are to reveal a weakness, maybe an insecurity.
Or just say something foolish.
Or just plain foolish, yes. Something that could be twisted or used against you later.
The example used is Louis XIV, right? At Versailles. All the nobles chattering, arguing.
And the king, famously sparing with his words. He got it. Ambiguity is power. When you speak vaguely, hold back your deepest thoughts. People project onto you.
Their hopes, their fears.
Yeah. They're forced to interpret, and that interpretation process, it gives you this kind of mysterious, almost Sphinx-like authority. He used silence strategically for control, for distance.
But maintaining that distance, that control, the biggest threat has got to be emotion, anger specifically.
Oh, absolutely. Anger is, strategically speaking, counterproductive, massively so. The second you get angry, you lose objectivity.
And lose your advantage.
Instantly. The goal has to be stay calm, stay objective, even while perhaps putting your opponents totally off balance. If you're going to make them lose their cool,
you hold the strings.
You hold all the strings.
So it's not about being passive, it's tactical provocation.
That's a great way to put it. Find that emotional chink in their armor. Maybe it's vanity, maybe entitlement, whatever it is, and just rattle them. Stir the waters.
Then step back calmly.
And watch them drown in their own reaction.
Yeah.
This sovereignty over yourself, this calm, it's the bedrock. Everything else builds on that.
Okay, so mastering yourself, your image, that's rule one. The second truth, maybe even harsher, deals with resources, effort, how it gets exploited. We need to tackle that comfortable lie. The myth of honest toil.
Right. The idea that just slaving away, head down, guarantees success. You need to stop believing that.
Because it makes you vulnerable.
Extremely. The sources suggest it's naive. You become a prime target for others to leverage your work. You have to adopt a strategy of leverage yourself.
The world, let's face it, is full of people ready to take credit for other people's sweat. So instead of just complaining about it,
learn to use it.
Yeah.
The strategic person learns to use that dynamic. It's sometimes called the vulture strategy, which sounds grim, but
get people with skills you lack, hire them, put your name on the final thing.
Find the talent, manage the talent, take the credit.
Now that sounds ruthless.
It can sound ruthless, but let's think strategically. It's not just theft. It's resource allocation. It's leverage. Think about Peter Paul Rubens, the painter, later in his career. He ran this huge, successful studio.
Right. He wasn't painting every single brushstroke himself.
No way. He was a genius, sure, but he couldn't possibly paint every robe, every background, every face on that scale.
Yeah.
He employed dozens of specialists, masters of fabric, masters of landscape.
For an assembly line of art.
Pretty much. He organized it, oversaw the vision, put his name on the canvas, marketed it. He appeared like this prolific, singular genius because he mastered delegation, management, and, yes, credit taking.
He became the center of creativity, not the only source. So if you're feeling exhausted, Maybe you're still trying to be the only source, doing work others could do for you.
It's a hard question to ask yourself. Appearing brilliant often means strategically leveraging the output of others.
Okay, leveraging others' work. What about the flip side? Things offered to you, specifically for free, the sources warn against the free lunch.
Vehemently. Despise the free lunch.
Why the strong language?
Because anything offered for free, truly free, almost always has a catch, a trick, a hidden obligation somewhere down the line.
Like emotional debt, gratitude.
Exactly. Or maybe it's a deceitful bargain that seems great up front, but ties you to the giver later. It binds you.
So paying your way keeps you independent.
Completely. Pay your full price. Stay clear of that emotional debt, that financial entanglement. You maintain your independence, your strategic distance. Bargains often hide problems, material or psychological. Accepting a free favor makes you indebted.
And that dependency is a huge strategic vulnerability.
Profound. Real freedom means paying your own way. Always.
Okay. We've hit managing reputation through silence and calm. We've hit leveraging resources and avoiding dependency. The third pillar, it seems to be about change, flexibility, self-creation. Because being predictable, that's dangerous.
Very dangerous. Your predictability is basically a gift to your opponents. It gives them a sense of control over you. They know your moves. They can counter them easily.
So you have to reverse that. Be deliberately unpredictable.
You have to. Behavior that seems random, that seems to have no clear purpose. It keeps people off balance. It can even intimidate them because they can't figure you out.
Like Mata Hari, the spy. Her power wasn't really her dancing.
Not primarily, no. It was the atmosphere.
Yeah.
The mystery. The constant change she projected. Always shifting her story, her background, her image.
So that inconsistency was the point.
It was absolutely intentional. Because you couldn't pin her down, you couldn't define her. And if you can't define someone, you can't control them. When people are always guessing your next move,
You hold the initiative.
you do. And beyond just being unpredictable day to day, the sources push for active self-creation. Don't just accept the role of society or your circumstances try to force on you.
Be the author of your own image.
Exactly. Look at Julius Caesar. He's maybe the ultimate example. Early on, he focused intensely on cultivating his image, staging these incredible public spectacles, projecting authority.
And later, the purple robe.
Deliberately wearing those spectacular purple robes, usually reserved for triumphant generals after a major victory. It amplified the public's sense of his unique, almost godlike status. He managed his PR masterfully. He refused to be just a product of circumstance.
Okay, unpredictability, self-creation, and the ultimate defense underlying all this is formlessness.
Yes. Assume formlessness. If you have a clear plan, a fixed shape, a visible structure, you're an open target. You're easy to attack.
Because nothing is certain in power.
Nothing. You have to accept that rules change, situations shift constantly. The best protection. Be like water. Fluid. Adaptable.
Can't be targeted if you have no fixed shape.
Precisely. Never bet everything on stability. Never assume things will stay the same.
This flexibility thing is huge. If you feel tired, maybe it's because you're fighting the current, trying to impose rigid plans on a fluid world.
It's often the case. And maybe we can make this concrete with a story. The classic tragic story of Nikola Tesla versus Thomas Edison. It just perfectly shows the cost of confusing pure merit with effective strategy.
Tesla. Unquestionably a scientific genius, right? Developed the AC system that basically powers everything now, but he was pure.
He really believed science was above petty fights. Famously said he didn't care about fame or money.
And that purity ruined him.
In many ways, yes. It was his undoing strategically. While he was dreaming up amazing future tech, he wasn't protecting his current patents. He failed that leverage strategy we talked about. He let the vultures circle.
Others stole his credit, the commercial gains.
They did. And his ignorance of power dynamics, it was fatal. Remember, he was offered the Edison Medal, named after his rival.
And refused it, rather than share recognition.
Refused it. Chose pride and ultimately poverty over playing the game. He literally said he'd rather starve his mind and its creations than compromise.
Wow. Contrast that with Edison.
Night and day. Edison might have been arguably less of a pure inventor in some ways than Tesla.
But a master of reputation.
Absolute master. Master of strategic perception. He understood that controlling the narrative, public perception, that was everything. When the Nobel Committee wanted them to share the prize,
Edison refused too.
outright refused. He wasn't sharing the spotlight, especially not with Tesla.
Edison got the power strategy. Guard your image. Leverage others' work when needed. Strategically deny rivals. He played the game.
Played it brilliantly. secured his fame, attracted investors, built an empire, while Tesla, the visionary, faded into obscurity, poverty, irrelevant.
So the punchline is harsh.
It is. It's useless to just complain about the vultures. It's useless to wear yourself out with bitterness like Tesla did. Talent isn't enough. You have to protect yourself, secure your position, join the game strategically.
So let's look at this map of power we've laid out. If you feel exhausted listening to this, maybe it's hitting home. Maybe it's because you've been confusing sheer effort with actual strategic control.
You thought the world rewarded goodness or raw talent on its own.
It doesn't. The world rewards strategic control.
But listen, this doesn't mean you're weak. It just means maybe you were operating with, let's say, a naive framework, believing in rules that don't actually govern how things work.
The struggle against the inevitable, the complaining, the bitterness, relying on other people's fairness, that's what's exhausting.
Exactly. Excelling at power, understanding the dynamics, is actually less exhausting in the long run because it gives you control over your outcomes.
So you have to stop reacting to the world.
You have to start directing it.
Forget the past hurts. Stop looking back. Plan to the end. That's another key idea, right? Calculate the potential pitfalls before they happen.
Anticipate. So nothing catches you totally by surprise. By mastering these ideas, the sovereignty of silence, leveraging energy, formlessness, you spare yourself so much pain. The pain that comes from just, bungling around with power without understanding it.
This knowledge needs to become applied strategy now.
The change has to start now. It's in your hands.
So today we covered 3 core demands of strategic living. First, mastering your inner world silence, calm, reputation. Second, leveraging external energy, other people's work, resources, while fiercely protecting your independence.
And third, embracing change, unpredictability, self-creation, ultimate formlessness.
And by mastering these, you don't become some kind of villain. You become more effective. A source of strength, actually. Certainty. Others will eventually rely on you because you'll have the clarity to navigate this arena.
You become the one who directs, not the one always reacting.
That's the goal.
We really want to hear from you on this one. Which strategic demand hit you the hardest? Was it the sovereignty of silence, the tough truth about leveraging others' efforts, or that need for formlessness? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, tell us. And if this deep dive woke something up in you, gave you that clarity we talked about, please subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next strategic analysis.
And if you want the full playbook, the deep dive into all these principles, a link to the book, The 48 Laws of Power, is right there in the description. Get it, read it, study it, and then apply it. Start today. The next move is yours.
Por cierto, si quieres profundizar más y hacer de este libro parte de tu camino, dejé un enlace seguro aquí abajo donde puedes conseguir tu copia física. Tenerlo en tus manos marca toda la diferencia.